When I began sharing that the USA is Babylon the Great, I found that there are three major false teachings in the churches. The most popular is that the Catholic Church is Babylon the Great. The second most popular teaching, which is an offshoot of the Catholic Church teaching, is that Babylon the Great is all false religions, in which they include the Catholic Church. The third major false teaching is that Babylon of old will be rebuilt and fulfill Babylon the Great. Now, those that teach that the Catholic Church is Babylon the Great claim that the woman John saw sitting on the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns in Revelation 17:3 is a picture of the Antichrist ruling over his kingdom, and that one day a pope will be the Antichrist. Revelation 17:3 states, "And he carried me away in the Spirit into a wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast full of blasphemous names, having 7 heads and 10 horns." However, Revelation 17:1, 15, and 18 reveal that the woman is depicted as sitting on the beast in Revelation 17:3 because she rules over the beast, not because she is the king of the beast. Revelation 17:1, 15, and 18 state, "Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and spoke with me, saying, 'Come here, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits on many waters.' And he said to me, 'The waters which you saw where the harlot sits are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. The woman whom you saw is the great city which reigns over the kings of the earth.'" And you can see that the woman that sits on the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns can't be the Antichrist, because Revelation 17, 8 through 11 tells us that the Antichrist, who is symbolized as the beast that comes up out of the abyss, comes out of one of the 7 heads and becomes an 8th king that the woman sits on. And if the woman symbolizes the Antichrist, this causes the Antichrist to come out of one of the 7 heads and sit on himself. Revelation 17, 8 through 11 state, "The beast that you saw was and is not, and is about to come up out of the abyss and go to destruction. And those who dwell on the earth will wonder whose name has not been written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that he was and is not and will come. Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits, and they are 7 kings. 5 have fallen, one is, the other has not yet come, and when he comes he must remain a little while. The beast which was and is not is himself also an 8th, and is one of the 7, and he goes to destruction." Now, it also does not make sense that the woman sitting on the beast is the Antichrist, because Revelation 17, 16 through 17 tells us that the Antichrist kingdom defeats the woman, and if the woman symbolizes the Antichrist, this causes the Antichrist to defeat himself. Revelation 17, 16 through 17 states, "And the 10 horns which you saw, and the beast, these will hate the harlot, and will make her desolate and naked, and will eat her flesh, and burn her up with fire. For God has put it in their hearts to execute his purpose by having a common purpose, and by giving their kingdom to the beast until the words of God will be fulfilled." Now, those that teach that the woman is the Antichrist, and that one day a pope will fulfill the woman, claim that the 7 mountains in Revelation 17, 9 through 10 are the 7 hills around Rome. However, since we know that the woman does not depict the Antichrist, and that a future pope will not fulfill the woman, I would like to point out that the word mountains in Revelation 17:9 is a metaphor that depicts the kingdoms that the 7 kings rule over, not the 7 hills around Rome. Revelation 17, 9 through 10 state, "Here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits, and they are 7 kings. 5 have fallen, one is, the other has not yet come, and when he comes he must remain a little while." You can also see in Revelation 16, 18 through 19, that Babylon the Great cannot symbolize the Catholic Church because it is split into 3 by an earthquake, and it is impossible for this to happen to the Catholic Church. And if the Catholic Church was destroyed for some reason, this would not cause all the cities of the nations to fall. Revelation 16, 18 through 19 states, "And there were flashes of lightning, and sounds and peals of thunder, and there was a great earthquake, such as there had not been since man came to be upon the earth. So great an earthquake was it, and so mighty. The great city was split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. Babylon the Great was remembered before God to give her the cup of the wine of his fierce wrath. Now, another way that you can see that the Catholic Church is not the fulfillment of Babylon the Great is because Revelation 18:15 and 19 tell us that Babylon the Great is that place where all the merchants of the earth and every shipping company in the world are becoming rich, and we know that they are not becoming rich from the Catholic Church. Revelation 18:15 and 19 state, "The merchants of these things who became rich from her will stand at a distance because of the fear of her torment, weeping and mourning. And they threw dust on their heads and were crying out, weeping and mourning, saying, Woe, woe, the great city, in which all who had ships at sea became rich by her wealth, for in 1 hour she has been laid waste." Now you can see from the descriptions of Babylon the Great found in these scriptures that neither the Catholic Church or its offshoot, false religions, are the fulfillment of Babylon the Great. Now Babylon of old also cannot be the fulfillment of Babylon the Great, because Isaiah 13:1 and 17 through 22 tell us that Babylon of old will never be revived. Isaiah 13:1 and 17 through 22 state, "The oracle concerning Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amoz saw, Behold, I am going to stir up the Medes against them, who will not value silver or take pleasure in gold, and their bows will mow down the young men. They will not even have compassion on the fruit of the womb, nor will their eye pity children. And Babylon, the beauty of kingdoms, the glory of the Chaldeans' pride, will be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It will never be inhabited or lived in from generation to generation, nor will the Arab pitch his tent there, nor will shepherds make their flocks lie down there. But desert creatures will lie down there, and their houses will be full of owls. Ostriches also will live there, and shaggy goats will frolic there. Hyenas will howl in their fortified towers, and jackals in their luxurious palaces. Her fateful time also will soon come, and her days will not be prolonged." Now Jesus revealed to me that the USA is Babylon the Great, and he sent me to the believers to convey this message. If you compare the descriptions found in the scriptures that tell us that the three major false teachings are not the fulfillment of Babylon the Great with the USA, you will see that they reveal that the USA is Babylon the Great. The USA is the only country in the world that is capable of ruling over the Antichrist and his kingdoms before the earthquake causes the USA to become defenseless and they form the fourth beast and defeat the USA. When the USA is split into three by the earthquake, all the cities of the nations will fall, because the merchants of the earth, who are becoming wealthy by selling their goods in the USA, are manufacturing these goods in these cities. And when they have no place to sell their goods, this will cause the manufacturing to cease and the economies and the cities to fall. The USA is the only country in the world that every shipping company in the world is getting rich from by shipping the goods for the merchants of the earth to her. The USA is Babylon the Great because, like Babylon of old was, it is the center of trade and rules the earth, but is greater in magnitude. The USA is the mother of harlots because it is the only country in the world that all the other nations are becoming baby harlots by becoming like her, or westernized. The socialists in the Democratic Party are causing the USA to fulfill the mother of the abominations of the earth because they are using the economic grip that the USA has on other nations and U.S. military supremacy to force the nations of the earth to legalize such abominations as abortion, homosexuality, same-sex marriage, and transgender. Now Jesus sent me to the believers to tell them that the USA is Babylon the Great so that they understand that Revelation 18:4 is a forewarning to the believers in the USA that if they participate in the sins that the socialists in the Democratic Party are propagating in the USA, either directly or indirectly, by voting for one of these anti-Christian socialists, they will receive their plagues. Some of their sins include abortion, separation of church and state, legalizing homosexuality, same-sex marriage, transgender, no evangelistic statements allowed in the workplace, the inclusion of no evangelizing in the no soliciting signs that you see on store windows, and teaching evolution. Revelation 18:4 states, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, 'Come out of her, my people, that you may not participate in her sins, and that you may receive of her plagues.'" Revelation 1:3 tells us, "Blessed is he who reads, and those who hear the words of the prophecy, and heed the things which are written in it, for the time is near."